Okay. Hello everyone, I'm Avik. I'm user Quantumavik on Wikipedia. And I'm just going to try and give a comparison of Indian language Wikipedias with the English language Wikipedia. Um, so I don't think I need to emphasize this with the audience we have here, but the mission statement of Wikipedia says that it wants to be the sum total of all human knowledge. And as we know, knowledge is not just in English, it's in a lot of different languages. And this is important because a lot of cultural heritage and local culture is lost if we try to represent everything on the English Wikipedia. So it becomes really important that the other language Wikipedias also start growing and come to a level where they can be representative of the knowledge that is out there. And not just that, it's also the fact that a lot of, especially in developing countries, a lot of people know how to read and write in the local languages, but not so much in English. So if we want to give them access to this knowledge that is out there, we need to really bring those Wikipedias up to date. So as of now, Wikipedia is in 291 languages from what I saw yesterday. And this is just a picture of the Wikipedia globe from the headquarters. And if we just unwrap this thing, this logo, you can see a lot of languages represented here. And if we just go by the language count, all these ones that are highlighted in blue are languages of India or Indian origin. So just from, because India itself has a lot of languages and dialects. So it's not surprising that the representation, if you look at just the number of languages, is pretty good here. However, if we look at the number of articles in these Wikipedias, you get a different story. So the English language Wikipedia is a tall bar on the right you see there. That's 5 million articles from what I saw yesterday. Then you have the European languages, Western European languages, which have 1 million or 2 million articles. And Chinese also has a decent number of articles. But then you see a huge drop. And I must emphasize here that the number of speakers of Hindi and let's say French or German are comparable. Both are in the 300 million range, 300 million people, native speakers. But there's a huge disparity in the number of Wikipedia articles. And there are a lot of factors that can be used to explain this. One is that in India, being a developing country, we don't have access to a lot of the technology that we need or internet access that is there in the Western European language countries. But more importantly, I also feel that, okay, if we zoom in here, I should mention that there's a trend that Hindi and Tamil being the major languages in the northern and southern parts of India, they have naturally the most number of articles. And you see a decreasing trend for the languages which are more local to different parts of the country, like Assamese or Oriya or Kannada. But I think one of the reasons why the number of articles in the Indian languages is less is because a lot of times education and a lot of communication between different parts of the country is in the English language, and it has become the lingua franca, as they say. So, and also since these languages use a script that is different from the Latin alphabet, it's much harder to edit them on a keyboard that, on a Latin alphabet based keyboard. And Wikipedia has provided tools where we can use the keyboard, on the on-screen keyboard to enter characters in these scripts. But it's definitely a lot more time consuming than just writing in the English Wikipedia. And so the other thing I would like to point out is that, I don't know if you can see it here, but I found this on the Wikimedia 15.wikipedia.org webpage, where this editor, Ahmed Nisar, he edits in a lot of languages, Telugu, Hindi, English and Urdu. And he said that Hindi and Urdu are very interrelated languages, so it's important to bring those up together because these they grew together, and if you have built articles in one language, the other language can automatically be brought up much quicker. So it's interesting to study these interdependence of various languages and how the Wikipedias in those languages can be brought up together. So what's the way forward? I mean, there's a huge disparity in the number of articles, and I found this interesting piece in the Washington Post recently, where they compare, in red you see the number of Wikipedia pages, and the blue is the number of speakers of that language. And English, of course, has the largest number of articles, but if you look at the ratio of Wikipedia pages to the number of speakers, then Sweden is the second largest in that ratio. And it's, the Washington Post article says that this is basically the story of one man, Sverker Johansson, and what he did was he wrote a bot called LSJ bot, and it combs databases and scrapes them for useful information, and then just automatically generates Wikipedia articles from them. From the joint broadcast session from San Francisco, we also heard a lot about bots today. So I think this is probably one of the more sustainable, or quick ways to get a lot of the local language Wikipedias to have a larger number of articles and bring it up to date with what we would like, let's say, at least in proportion to the number of speakers of that language, so that we have all the information out there. And to end on a positive note, this is another editor I found on the 15.wikipedia.org page, and he has a very nice statement that, I see the small languages growing and having full representation globally. I see ourselves going somewhere. So I'd like to end on that note. Thank you.